Hello, YouTube. This is Mickey D bringing you episode, I think we're up to 79, yes, of Stationeers. And, oh, well, I guess we'll leave it like that. Hey, MacGyver. Hey, Lonnie. So, done a few things off camera. Not a ton of stuff. Smelted up. I can't remember what I smelted up. Uh, Iron. I think I smelled it up. I smelled it up a whole bunch of iron. Kind of stocked up some of the machines. So we're doing copper steel. I think maybe nah, yeah, we're a little low on steel there. Plenty of copper though for wiring. Plenty of iron, and plenty of iron, gold, copper, which is pretty much the last of our gold. Well, I think we still got some more there. I went through and pulled everything out of the bags. That was driving me nuts. I couldn't tell how much I had of what, and yeah. So yeah, that's actually all we have left for copper, but we have quite a bit in the machines. Um, and I think copper. Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. He passed away too. Um, and I did get these the other two intakes set up, and uh, we had issues setting this one up because the circuit. Um, and then I remembered, oh yeah, transformers. You can transfer power through without data. So I basically put a writer here, and then it ties in, and then the power can tie right in. I don't have to pull off of a completely different circuit. Um, and these only take like 10 watts, so I just have them set to like 20. And then that way they will run. Same thing on this one. So the power just comes in, line comes down in, and then the writer's right here, and it just ties into the line. So basically, the only thing on it is the writer and the filter. Hey, unexpected. So they're running, and the intake and exhaust go basically out this wall. Uh, but we got to remember that the Martian atmosphere is only like 2 kPa, so we don't really. It's like a very 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 small trickle. I mean, it'll kind of help, overall, as long as it's because basically, it's just gonna just sit there and run and run and run and run. Um, this one, still at 2 kPa, it's still 95% CO2. So this is obviously going to fill up quite a bit faster and will eventually shut off. I imagine those basically will never shut off. They will just always run. We basically get like zero point 0.1 kPa every. Oh yeah, yeah. That's the point. Is yeah, we're just letting that run, and yeah, we've already gone up quite a bit because we were at like 4.8 or so, I think, maybe 4.9, and we've already gotten about a little over about half a kPa or MPa. Yeah, I mean we can go gather ice and water and bump it up. Um, and speaking of it, is yeah, nitrogen we're pretty much empty on, and O2 we are empty on. But we have the O2 line is pressurized up to 8 MPa. So that's basically where all of our O2 is. I adjusted that because I was letting it pre-fill up to 16. It's kind of overkill, because especially since the mixer will dump it in pretty fast. So I just dropped it down to 2 MPa. So, if we pressurize the base and it needs more, it'll pull it out. And if the base does get pressurized, then it's not going to just leave a ton of oxygen sitting in the line. So unfortunately, it's all stuck after the mixer right now. So I'd have to pressurize the base and depressurize it, to pull it out and put it back in the tank. Um, right now, we don't have enough nitrogen. So right now, it's just set to 100% oxygen. At one point, we were running a 10% nitrogen mix. But since then, since we filled up our jetpacks, we haven't really collected any I think there was, when I emptied out those bags, there was one bag of oxides, so I did dump that into the system. Um, and we've got a little bit in here too, because well, some of it I think evaporated inside the base, but I wasn't really too concerned about it, so it's not going to hurt us any. And I should actually just let the returns run for a while, if I can remember where I put them, just to kind of get some of these pollutants out of here, because we've built up some stuff, obviously from cycling the greenhouse. I'm just going to kick a couple of these on and let them run. Well, it's not really flammable. It'll just, if there's a fire, it'll basically just make it. Yeah, you can. Obviously not at 95%. Yeah, you can get away with some, but we can get more than a. I think we were actually getting a little low, but we were hitting, I think, 40s for the base atmosphere. After we did before the expansion, we were hitting all the way up in the 80s, 90s. But since we added on such a huge section, and we've burned, at one point we burned quite a bit of it in the generator because we were kicking that on all the time. So it will be time to go do I'll go do a mining run and go grab oxides and ice. And I wish ice was more common though, because you can't really find it. You find it a bit, but not much. So first things I want to do though in this episode is, as you can see, while I was working on the stuff over there, I kind of just let stuff run. We're going to expand radiator systems. So, and these are all 20. So I figure we never have enough pipes. So I just made a ton of them, especially since I just made like 1,200 iron ingots. So, yeah, I think we're going to go run a whole bunch of radiator up I at least want to double the capacity on the greenhouse, and see if we can keep that cool enough now. And I should probably leave some room for radiators, though we could always come back in. And I'll probably just pop off the door on the base because it is pretty much depressurized. So we're going to run out there, and let me check my jetpack. Yeah, we're good for now. We'll just go out this side. Yeah, I wish they had an override on these so you could, just open up both doors if it was not, which, yeah, we could unpower it. Oh, that's actually a good idea. We could put a switch on it so we can disconnect the power. Or shut the power off the door. And then, that's probably going to mess with the circuit, though, because every time we power it off and power it back on, it's probably going to... What happens if you... Nah, that still doesn't do anything. Yeah, crowbar, I think, only works if the door's unpowered. Yeah, see? Unable to force open, bolts are locked. So if it's controlled by this, or it's powered, it won't let you pull it open. So you gotta literally just go like that, which means now that I have to reprogram it. But since I don't feel like cycling it, because we're gonna probably be in and out a little bit. Yeah, and it should probably mine those volatiles at some point. So we're going to come over here. We're going to expand this quite a bit and see if we can get some better cooling on the greenhouse. And I am still tempted just to run a line over and tie this into the main one, especially since these are such a pain in the butt to fill up if you're using the canisters. Since the canisters basically hold such a low volume, it just takes forever. And let's see, and I'm glad we're doing this one. I think we went too far. And can we get one more? Yeah, we can get one more row. No, the air conditioner. We have an air conditioner inside. Well, we have the wall coolers inside. Actually, let's just go ahead and put these on and get them out of our inventory. Yeah, we actually have 5 of them in the greenhouse. I think it's 5. It's 5 or 6. But the problem is they're over. I think they're overwhelming this now, especially since we're on. I don't know. Those run so slow. And obviously, then you've also got the power draw on them too. We pretty much have to. What did I want? Oh, I need more radiators. Yes. Yeah, I can say I'm not really all that impressed with either one. I mean, the wall units were working fine, um, and then we ran into. I think because we're on Mars now, uh, it's not as cold, so we were running into. I think that's why we're running into cooling issues now, because it was working fine before. And we should be able to change this to a corner. No, they only drop the temperature so much per pass. So that's why we've got it set up now the way it is so that it'll recirculate. Um, and so if you're 60 degrees in here and you have it set to like 30 degrees, chances are it's not going to cool it all down in one pass. It'll only drop it like, a specific amount depending on how cold the radiator is. Um, and I don't know. As far as I can tell, the radiator and the oops, no, we went. Well, first of all, let's turn on our light. You know what? We could actually just carry that out a little bit farther. But then you still have to. Well, see, then you still have to. You still have to have the radiator connected to. You would still have to have the AC connected to some radiator system because you've got to send the heat somewhere. So you would basically end up with a radiator system, an AC, and then you're cooling off another pipe that the wall coolers are hooked to. So I think you would, I don't know how much improvement you would get out of it. Okay, one of these should tie into, let's see, pipe core. That must be the one coming in. So we're going to change this. We're going to make this, we're just going to go ahead and extend this all the way out. And get as many radiators as we can in here right now. But the system was working fine before we moved to Mars. So, I mean, we had the greenhouse up and running, fully, growing all the plants. And now, since we've moved to Mars, it's overheating again. So I think the issue is that Mars is not as cold as the moon. So it's the radiators basically aren't getting as cold. And it's hey Boney, so we're not getting the same performance out of it basically. So I'm hoping by just expanding this, it's going to offset it because we were definitely overheating. The radiator was warming up, so we were putting in more heat than it could get rid of, which was not the case before. Now the only drawback to this is we have to pressurize this. And we've also got to do the same thing. I think we're going to probably want to up. Oh, we have exactly enough. Look at that. How did that happen? That never happens. Usually it would be like one short. So I want to see how that does. That's, I would say about double the size on it. And I really want to get that jetpack off of there because that's. And I have like, it's like, I don't know. We can actually pull some of this out too, because these should have tanks in them. They should make these despawn. It's like a burial ground up here. Wow, somebody like really. All right. Anyway. What? Which wall? Oh, the base. Yeah, it's pretty big, and it's getting there. And I'm sure people have noticed in the radiator and the pipe building air section, I had quite a few frame blocks in there. So there may or may not be a large base expansion in the works. Okay, so I want to look, free CO2. Oh, it's a large battery. We'll keep it. And we should hopefully have some, very nice. Oh, yeah, of course. I don't care about the tablet. I don't care about the mining bag. All I want is that. All right. Well, we have the recycler. Hey, Kelvin. So, let me just turn it into goodies. I don't know if we actually lose stuff, because I don't know if it actually counts the stuff in the inventories or not, but I don't really care. We're not, you know, I really don't really, oh, it is nice to get the batteries out, though. Not that I don't know. We still got a few things that don't have nuclear batteries in them, so I guess a few large batteries doesn't hurt. 3, 4. There. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's only giving it's not giving us what's in the inventories. We should probably get a little bit more than that back. But really all I wanted was the tanks, because we can dump that in this system. Let's combine those. And we shall dump that there, which is actually good, because we do actually need, well, we don't really need the CO2, but we need the tanks. Which, while not exactly, costly, is, oh, I do want the nitrogen. The nitrogen and the O2. But I'm not going to turn down the CO2 either. And we'll put a large battery in there. And then we'll do the, the thing they say never to do on the batteries. Crush it. All right, that's dropping. Very nice. And we'll, yeah. Here, we'll swap those out. I really want a tank storage rack that, doesn't fill them or anything, but can, why does that say 303? That's not right. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess that one was. Oh, I was looking at the other one in my inventory. I'm like, no, it says it's 565. But yeah, I wish they had a rack for the. Yeah, I guess we can turn that off. I wish they had a rack for like the tanks. So you can have like, I don't know, 6 tanks or something in it. Not that you had to like, not that's plumbed in, just to store them. I think that could, definitely be nice to have some spare tanks around. I definitely want the nitrogen though. All right. Let's go see what that radiator system is pressurized to now. I have a feeling it's probably a little on the low side. No, I think we had it pressurized kind of, yeah, 508. So now it's probably, it looks like it got contaminated. Yeah, it got contaminated. There was a bug too. One of the, whoa. Oh, that's the, yeah, base atmosphere. Thank you, 1.34. Yeah, so we didn't, I must have had it overpressurized or higher. I think this is I think this is one that I pressurized pretty high. So we're still plenty cool enough on it. And we'll let it cool down. So we don't have to worry about that. That's nice. Give me that. Give me that. We'll go drop these in as well. And then I want to go expand the radiator system over by the and I want to take one of these. And I don't know if we have any orange paint left or not. Do we have any? We got red. Close enough. There. Which one of these days we'll hook that back up. Look, it looks like the paint faded. Freshly painted? Old paint. Let me see. So, and I don't know if I'll do with the other tanks. I might just make some tank fill stations. Actually, I think we have a couple extra ones. We can just stick them on the wall, stick the tanks in. Yeah, we got 2. To start. I should probably swap out that other large battery too. But maybe what we'll do is, it probably won't stick here because we got the board. Yeah, we got the circuits there. But I think this wall is pretty much empty. So I'm going to turn it around the other way. Yes, like that. And it should be like that. There. Maybe what we'll do is pre-fill some of the tanks. Obviously not the lease tanks. We don't care about those. They do not fill up enough. Or, you don't fill them up fast enough to worry about. And I don't think we ever... No, I never set it back up. That's what one of those tank fills came from. Is we never reset up the pollution kind of gathering system. And by the way, I think these look very weird when you put them in there. And we'll put the large battery there. So now we've just got large and nuclear batteries in there. And these piddly little small batteries, we don't need those. We'll get a piece of copper out of it. Alright, there we go. And we've got 2 other oxygen tanks that we'll maybe do something with at some point. Oh, I want to recycle that uniform too. I could do some cleanup here. And I don't think we actually get anything back from the uniforms. Some stuff you don't actually get anything back from. But there's at least a way to throw it away without, just tossing it out the airlock. Oh no, we get some 5 iron. That is that's some pretty durable cloth if it's made out of iron. Probably a little scratchy too. All right, so we back to radiators now, which we're probably. Yeah, I'll probably go out with that. And how is our jetpack doing? Yeah, I figured it was kind of low. Though I don't think we really need the jetpack as much for this one. Alright, oh, well, yeah. I forgot we combined those rooms. I could have just turned around and walked out the door. Yeah, I still want to try to do something about the world map and try to get this mess cleaned up. But I don't really know how feasible that is. So, we definitely need to increase the furnace cooling. And I don't know if it was the actual furnace cooling itself or if it was the, I think we might just need to put more wall heaters in, or wall coolers in. Yeah, which we can definitely run, you know. And I'm sure either way, I mean, unless we go completely insane on the coolers, you know, we're probably going to still generate heat faster than we're going to be able to get rid of it. But if we can keep it, and I don't know why. Oop, it's up here, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, that does not need to be a T-junction. And at some point, we might actually just rip all this out. Since, how many do we got? Stick them in here first, because I don't want to stick down a whole bunch of pipe if we don't have room for the radiators. Though the pipes themselves will radiate some heat off, just not as good as the radiators will. But man, these you end up burning through a ton of gold. I went through a few hundred gold making these radiators. And I love you can stick them up on the wall before there's actually a pipe there. Oh, 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 of course, the last one has to get it in the wrong spot. All right. Three-way. Oh, that's going to be kind of a pain. I'm going to have to go to like a four-way there. Unless we go the other way, which we could. We'll just do that. It'll look nicer for now. Not that we don't have some funky piping that we need to straighten out. I think we were in a rush the last time we were working on this. If I remember correctly, I believe it was very, very hot inside the base, and we were just trying to get everything to cool down. There we go. I love as I'm slowly falling farther and farther backwards. So, yeah, once we get this done, I do want to try to start running that circuit for the to do the intakes, and we'll set that up separately. Though now that I remembered you can run them through a transformer, we might try to see if we can do something with a transformer. I'm kind of bummed that the digital valves didn't work out the way I was hoping. That would have worked out quite well. Unfortunately. Okay, 3. And I think this one we might have to... really? You're going to change to a T? I really hope I didn't put a T on all those now. Not that it should really matter. All right. Usually look, if we had one more. One more. Yeah, that'll work. All right. So, what is our pressure reading in there? Oh, and we got an autosave. There we go. Actually, was it an autosave? It didn't pop up. Might not have been. Might be that weird lag. Okay, yeah, we definitely got to pressurize that. And again, I'm actually thinking about just tying these two systems together. So we've got this radiator, and yeah. Oh, and this is the intake for the oxygen and nitrogen, and this is the exhaust for it. Um, so hopefully that should. It seems to be. I mean, it's only 2 kPa, so it seems to be working pretty good. Yeah, I'm thinking about just running a pipe over, and then these two systems would basically be tied together, because we can use that one set up to refill from the inside. And question is are we going to be able to get? No, we're going to hit, of course. We could move that pipe though too, because the base is not pressurized, so we could open that up. Yeah, because we could run that. I think we'll do that. I've been considering it, and then it's going to kind of tie them together. I mean, honestly, we could just run on just a straight line over there and just have one bigger wall of radiators, but it kind of, either two systems split apart or one system altogether. It's kind of the same thing if they're interconnected either way. And we can run radiators along these as well. So I think it'll work. And then the benefit is that we can then just open up the system. Oh, yes, that's right. Okay, before we do anything else, I want to add the temperature and the pressure console onto the oh, that's not what I wanted. Onto the radiator system, so we can pull that right off of there. Let's see, 3. Ooh. What does that tie into on the inside? Corner. This corner. Oh, that must be our. Okay, that's our line coming in. So yeah, we're gonna want a. I think we can do a 3-way. No, we don't, because we need the other corner. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to. Oh, 5-way. That might work better. Yeah, we'll just have an extra one on the top, which we can just, when we do the next run of radiators, it'll tie in there. Yeah, because that runs through to tie. That's the main section coming in from the return. No, wait a minute. That's the radiator. What is that? Let's open that up. Oh, it's the radiator line for yeah, there's a wall cooler right there for the room. That's right. I forgot what was there. Okay, well that's good. We need to open this up anyway because we gotta move that pipe up. Yeah, so this splits off for those the filter pulling in. This is the basically intake for the oxygen, intake for the nitrogen, and then the exhaust for the oxygen and the nitrogen. So basically dumping out CO2. And then that, just slow trickle, which is better than nothing, especially since it's all pretty much free resources at this point. Well, except for a little bit of electricity, but electricity, we get that from the sun, so we can get as much as that as we want. I'm still hoping for like reactors or something soonish, But yeah, we got uranium, so we can get some good uses for it. Turn the base into a nuclear crater at some point, I'm sure. give ourselves radiation poisoning. You know, what could go wrong? All right. So, that big hole there. Yeah, at some point I'm going to come out here and fill these in, and I like the idea with the bridges. Very nice. Okay, now those two systems should be tied together, and that will save us having to run back and forth. And we can actually pull out that intake and pressure, that fill station we basically had in there. Now, and I am actually considering on like tying all of the radiators together so we can run a line over to the greenhouse. So yeah, we're still at 1.89. So it obviously it's heated up now. The other radiator system was quite a bit warmer. Yeah, it's all equalized. So very nice indeed. That will save us a lot of trudging back and forth. I actually usually just do that off camera, but it takes quite a while to fill those up, which is the main reason I kind of want to do that, so I don't have to do that anymore. Plus, that does give us the benefit of once we have the pollution tank itself chilled, then we'll be able to use that to dump into the radiator to kind of give us some, emergency cooling if we need it. So yeah, probably what we'll do is we'll just cover those with radiators, and then that'll give us a little bit more. They'll be facing the sun, but it's not that big of a difference. All right, so I'll probably go in and bump that back up to 2 MPa again. And let's get this hooked back up. And then we'll get the pressure and temperature monitoring system on, because right now I've got to pull up the floor. No, you're choosing the wrong one. Is it? Yes, thank you. I don't know why I pull up one door and you forget which one's which. Yeah, cancel pressurization. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, right now, this is giving us control because this is the radiator system tying into the pollution tank, So, if we need to, we can kick it in. It'll slowly increase the pressure in it so we don't drop too low. And I've been keeping about 2 MPa. Supposedly, the higher the pressure is in it, the better the heat transfer you get. But I don't know if there's any difference really above 1 MPa. Some people say, I read online that the 1 MPa performs better than if you have just like 100 kPa in there, or the 150, whatever the system kind of automatically puts in there. I haven't tested it myself. I'm just, it's pollution. We have, well, we don't have a ton of it anymore because we're filling up radiators with it, but we still have quite a bit of it. And we're always going to make more. So I've kind of bumped them up a little bit higher to see if we get, hopefully a little bit better performance. And then this right now is kind of this will cool off, basically dumps into the radiator so it can radiate out, but it can cool off the tank. But we're going to put that passive vent in there and block this in. But I want to put a console, or well, 2 consoles, so we can read. We're going to have to add a pipe analyzer to this. Yes. So we'll need a pipe analyzer that will pull off, and maybe we'll stick it. I'm not sure where we're going to stick it. I don't know if we actually have got room to stick it over here because we've got circuitry all behind there. Well, actually, we got circuitry there. I think we have room to put them there if we can snake the wires around. Because I wouldn't mind having it like right on this corner, just pressure and temperature. And that will tell us what the radiator's at. Because right now I've got to pull up the floor to read the pipe. And, I could just do a pipe analyzer. And is that tank full? Nope, getting there. Getting there. And that one's not going to fill any more up. don't know if we have a pipe analyzer made. No, does not look like it, but we do have quite a few consoles. So that'll be a good start. And we've got wiring on us. We can actually drop this pipe off. Drop the pipe off. Yeah, we'll go make an analyzer and we'll need some glass. Oh, and we need gas display, which we have a whole bunch of them. And at some point, we've got to set up the what am I thinking of? We've got to set up all the displays for the other tanks. I'd like to, yeah, I guess we could have the pressure on there. Probably pressure and temperature. That way we can kind of keep an eye on it. Because I'm using the pipe analyzer, thank you. I'm using the, the handheld tablet all the time. And I used to have at least the amounts on there so we would know. So pipe analyzer. Oh, and we should grab the labeler while we're at it too. What should I tell you? I love having a nuclear battery in this labeler because the thing used to go dead all the time, and now I haven't had to charge it. So very nice. All right, so we're gonna want to hook into either. Oh, we can do right there. That will work. As long as we turn it around, we should be able to tie right into that circuit. This should be the one that ties in all the way up there. And yeah, I've been wanting to get this done so I don't have to keep pulling it off. I would say so. Yeah, because we're, half an hour nap, it'll be good. All right, so we'll get that, and I'm going to go ahead and label this. Though I don't know if we have another, we're going to call this radiator. Okay. And now, thankfully, that means I can close this up and hopefully not have to open it up again. All right, now let's pull this wall panel off here. And yeah, that'll be fine because we're going to have a wall eventually coming down behind here and cutting around the tank. I don't know if that's going to care if those are there or not. Probably not. We're probably going to have to end up moving. Honestly, we can leave the analyzer there, but we're probably going to have to move the volume pump because we won't be able to access it when that happens. Yeah, this is going to be a little tricky because I can't. Unfortunately, I do believe these. And I'm trying to remember, why did we put that notch in there? I cannot remember. Maybe there's wiring. It might be because I was doing the wiring, and we might be able to just move it back now. Because I would like to, if that's not there, we could run a pipe underneath. Actually, if we do it straight, I could run the pipe there. Because if I remember correctly on these, we cannot, if we flip them around, they're just going to read upside down, I believe. I don't think we can adjust the wiring on them. So pipe corner. Okay, that's only a corner. That's only a corner. So yeah, we could just move. I didn't want to pull that off. Oh, hey, look, we crashed the atmospherics. Imagine that. Yeah, anytime I start tearing apart pipes now. I don't know if it's just because the base has gotten so big and we have so many pipe, so many pipe networks now. But yeah, it basically, atmospherics pretty much crash now anytime we tear apart a pipe. or make adjustments to a pipe network, I should say. All right, so let's, yes, T-junction, that's what we want. Very nice, that will work. So now my thought is, let's clear that out because I really can't see anything. Unfortunately, that means we can't weld that because that's kind of, yeah. Okay. So I'd like to move this line. Oh, that's gonna. Okay, good. We still have the other frame on there. We could do it that way. Yeah, that'll work. We can do that. All right. So we'll run. Let's do this. There. And we'll change that to that. And then we'll make this a straight. And I find it funny. I just realized this earlier today, but you can actually run a cable along the inside of a pipe as long as you don't cross over anything. I realized that today when I was doing, which I don't think that's intentional. I don't know if that's a bug now. I don't remember it being able to do that before. Oh, let me guess. I probably have a wire down here, don't I? Yes. All right, let's pull up the floor. I do have a wire there, a heavy wire. All right, well, we can maybe move that. It's like a spaghetti mess. We could just loop it back through one farther. That would work. Though I hate adding extra wire on, just for having extra wire on. But there's no way to get those any closer. And I can't move up there because there's no room. All right. Oh, you know what we could have done? Yeah, I don't really want to do that though. I'm gonna say I could have put another row of blocks right here, and then had this more like a little hallway going in. Maybe later on, I don't know. I think we'll just leave it the way it is. Right. Do I have? I don't have the heavy wire on me, and I don't actually got a lot of heavy wire left either. So. I don't know if this is going to be enough. We will find out, I guess. Yeah, because we can't do a curve because we're right on the pipe. Though, oh, no, I can't. I was going to say I could drop the pipe down, but I can't do that. I could run the pipe behind it. Yeah. It's down, down. Am I going to be able to get it in there? Probably not. No, I'm going to pull off the other layer. I'm so glad the stuff doesn't fall off when you do that, because that would just be horrible. Now, can we get in there? No, we gotta pull. Oh, yes. So if we do that, and then we change this to a corner, if I can get it on there. Oh, it was on there for a second. Very nice. And, that's not going to work. We're going to hit that corner. Son of a... Yeah, and we can't do that because we're going to be basically the same thing. All right. I got too much stuff on this wall. All right. So what we can do, easy way, turn that into a three-way. We'll go inside with the pipe, and then we can take this a corner then, and that will fix the whole issue. So let's pull that heavy cable up because we don't need it in there now, and we'll just toss it over there. And we'll need to go grab some pipe now. But we'll get his, actually, we might as well just take that corner right out. just do that. And we'll turn this into a... Ooh, no, we can't go down because then we can't stick a bend in. We can do that, though. And then go to a corner, if we can get it on there. Oh, we actually used the exact same amount of pipe. I was thinking we were going to use more. Very nice. Okay, so now we can take this. And we can do that. Yes, because now we're not crossing over a pipe. Oh, actually, did we save a piece of pipe? Or was that just there? We may have actually saved a piece of pipe. Which, yeah, I guess it was worth it in the end after all. Alright, so we will just carry this. I guess we're just going to carry it right up into the circuit. And we'll make this a four-way. Okay. Make sure that sometimes when it flicks the power like that, it shuts off the ACs don't kick back on. So I've had to run around and manually kick them on again afterwards. All right, so let's get this stuff out of there. Actually, we can go ahead and put these in. And our sheets of glass. All right, and now where's our floors? All right, get that button back up. Now, we should be able to take our data, put these on, and we should be able to read, what do we call it, X-Tank. Oh, there we go. Actually, we will read that, not the X-Tank. Pressure? Yeah, sure, why not? So that gives us our pressure. Actually, we're going to do that the other way. The main thing we care about is the temperature. Unless we're making changes to the system, it should not, the pressure should not really change except for, you know, from it heating or cooling. So we'll put pressure down here. Not 8-tank. Will it not let me pull two things off of it? That would be really annoying. H-tank. H2O tank. N2 tank. CO2 tank. Radiator. Thank you. And pressure. Very nice. So now we can walk right up to it, see what they are. If we need to bump it up, and kick it in. Which we could put it on a circuit, but it doesn't really have to be adjusted very often. Why are you not? Oh, that's right. Atmospherics are broken. Yes, yes, they crashed. So yeah, it's not going to actually let us. We're not going to be able to weld that back on yet either. All right, but all set up, ready to go. And we'll leave the steel sheets over here because we need to weld those back on and put the wall unit. Actually, we'll put the wall unit on that side. And we could just put the wall units on, but I like the frame blocks are a lot stronger. So, a lot less chance of accidentally decompressing the brace, too. Plus, if I leave one off and the rest of them all have it, I'll forget that that one's off, and I can see I will decompress the base. Because I'll be like, oh yeah, there's frame behind here. I can pull those off. And do we turn that off? We did turn it off. Okay. All right. So, yeah, like, I really wish they'll change the render distance on the lights a little bit, because you know, the base is kind of, which is kind of nice, but not really. I mean, it's kind of, in some regards, it's kind of a neat effect, because it's like they're, you know, motion activated and they're kicking on. But, you know, if we walk to the other end of the base, it's basically, you know, yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe when they get some optimization done and it's, you know, running a little bit better, then, and I think I'll paint one of these white and one of these green, and then we'll have an extra spare tank. Which I wonder if we have anything. We might not have anything on the wall, so we might be able to put another tank next to each one to have you know, a spare for our spare, or a backup for our spare. Though I'm not going to keep a spare welder one, because we use that. We have to fill that thing so little, and since it kind of has a tendency to explode, yeah, not overly enthused with that. All right, so if I remember correctly, what are we at for cooling on this now? -33. Okay, so we're doing pretty good. We're still at 1.3 MPa, so yeah, we're definitely not going to drop below the limit on that. But I'm not going to set it up and kick it in now, because atmospherics are broke, so it's not going to perform right anyway. We are at, we just hit an hour. So we're going to go ahead and call this good for this stream. We did get a bit accomplished. We've got some, oh shoot, you do not want that to be blue. I wish there was a way to lock those, you know, besides having them controlled by the computer. But yeah, radiators are upgraded. At least for the furnace and for the main radiator. Actually, we didn't add anything to the main radiator. We tied it into the furnace, so it should benefit from it as well, as long as we're not running the furnace and the greenhouse. And yeah, we finally got the pressure monitors up there, so that's nice. That's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I might tie in a circuit on that later on, and maybe we'll have a light. And if it gets above a certain temperature, it'll kick on. I was thinking about automating it too with a digital valve, but that's kind of screwed now, because digital valves aren't bidirectional for some stupid reason. Yeah, so I don't know, unless we do a loop, which we could in this case. We can't do it with the other system, but we could put a directional valve going, a digital valve going both ways, use a batch writer. It would open both of them, and then that would give us, you know, so it would flow back, and that would basically make a bidirectional valve. Because the thought is that this, you know, we're going to keep this cooled, which we do. And if the radiator basically gets overheated, it will open this up and dump this in, to give us some extra cooling capacity. And once we get this closed in, then we're going to you know, have this not be pressurized. So we'll have a passive vent leading in and out that will have a digital valve on, so we can shut it off. Is that going to work now too, with the digital valve being one way? I mean, we just want air, kind of, well, lack of airflow. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not sure if those are actually one way or not. I'm going to do some testing on that and find out. You know, if it's labeled a valve, it should not be one way. You know, that would be a regulator. But anyway, yeah, I definitely want to do some testing on that and see. Because if so, then we can do a couple of systems the way, you know, kind of planned on. But when I looked it up yesterday, the manual valve is listed as being bidirectional in the wiki. But, you know, the wiki's not exactly 100% complete, where it's an early access game anyway. And it hasn't really been out all that long. And we got an autosave. Yeah, I think the console's not popping up, which is fine. I don't mind the console not popping up. 2240. Mm, which I don't know what time zone it's reading in, but not mine. Um, all right. So we'll call this good for this episode. I'm thinking of doing another Stationeers episode today. I'm going to be streaming for a couple more hours tonight, so it's just if I'm going to do Stationeers or not. I want to jump in and do another episode of Hellion, since we're kind of making a little bit of progress in there. Um, and I do enjoy that game, even though it's, you know, kind of hardcore survival, which I don't mind. But I do like the graphics. I like the mechanics of it. I really want to see what they got for the crafting. I know supposedly you can make everything in the game. Um, any item in the game you can craft if you have the resources for, supposedly. I'm sure you can't craft a ship, but, any of the items, I guess. And then, of course, we can go find other station parts to dock onto our station and make a really awesome, huge space station with the same multiples of the rooms, because there's only like 5, or however many they're up to now. But, it is definitely a game with lots of potential and lots of fun. Um, but I think first I'm going to do another episode of Stationeers, and then I'll probably jump on and do an episode of Hellion. Uh, and then I don't know what I would do after that. If I do another episode of Hellion or whatnot. I guess it depends on how much frustration and death there is in Hellion. If I'm going to do 1 or 2 episodes of that tonight. All right, so this is Mickey D. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm going to top off my coffee, stretch my legs, take a 10-minute or so, probably less, intermission, and then we'll be back with episode 80, where we'll probably jump on to... Well, I want to kick the first thing we're going to do is kick on the greenhouse, and see if the expanded radiator is working. And we might do a little testing with the digital valve too, because except for making that a depressurized room, which we can very easily do after we enclose it, by just knocking out the wall, and it doesn't really affect the rest of the base. The base is all ready to be repressurized again. So I've got those 2 filters in, which is basically, we got that, the CO2, the oxygen, nitrogen. So that is, we can get the base up and fully pressurized, or as close as to as fully pressurized as we can get with our limited O2 supply right now. But yes, so anyway, this is Mickey D. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in episode 80.